Hi, everyone. I'm Steve. I'm here with Dr. Nario. Thanks for being here, Doc.
Hi, Steve. Thank you for having me again. Always a pleasure.
All right, we're going to talk about 5 supplements that are not so common, that everyone doesn't know about. 5 of them for weight loss. So, if you guys are interested in what Dr. Nario does, he's at Biointegrative Health Center in Reno, Nevada. You can check them out online and see all the treatments and things that they do there. Okay, so we were talking before we turned this on. These are supplements that you said were probably a lot of people are already using, but they're just not connecting them to weight loss. So just generalize what you're going to talk about
Right.
first.
Well, again, welcome everyone. So the holidays are here, as we know, Steve. And Thanksgiving just ended, and Christmas parties are starting, and New Year's is basically tomorrow. And right now, everyone is suddenly wondering, how do I not gain 8 pounds between stuffing and champagne? So today we're going to review natural supplements that actually have research behind them, which is with support for weight loss. They're not the GLP ones like the Retta that we discussed, not magic pills, but tools you may already be taking for other health reasons. And these are not the common ones that we already know that are associated with weight loss, such as green tea extract, L-carnitine or CLA. The good news is the ingredients have dual benefits, may it be anti-inflammatory, metabolic, cardiovascular support, and they may help you buffer holiday eating and at the same time help the specific pathology that you're taking it for.
All right, that sounds pretty good. I'm curious to see what they are because I don't know what you're going to say. So, what's number one? Number one. Now,
Number
this is in
one.
any order.
Right. Well, I probably my bias, my favorites will be the one that I present the first.
Okay, so number one, what is it?
All right. Number one is curcumin. So curcumin is usually seen in our conditions of like arthritis, inflammation, metabolic syndrome. And this is already something that is in our shelves most of the time. And research, actually 2019 randomized controlled trial showed that when used with piperine, so you pepper, lost the patients who did this lost an average percent of 5% of body weight over 8 weeks compared to almost no change in the placebo. And the reason why curcumin does this is because it increases insulin sensitivity, fat browning, inflammation reduction, even gut microbiome balance. So it claims the metabolic chaos we tend to create during the holidays. So here's the kicker. Majority of my patients are underdosing this because they think, oh, just follow the bottle and what the instruction tells me. 1,000 to 1,500 milligrams per day of curcumin with piperine or the liposomal form would be the best. And that's why curcumin won't stop you from eating pie, but it may help you, I guess, metabolize and forgive you for your weight gain for the holidays.
Did you say 5% in 8 weeks?
5% of body weight.
Wow.
With the right dose, not just like, oh, let me get a pill once a day. People
Sure,
do it
yeah,
with
you
the
want to
week.
get a therapeutic dose for sure,
Right,
and
a
usually
thousand to 1,500
all
milligrams
right.
per day.
All right, that's great. What's number 2?
Number two, another favorite of mine, and maybe even yours, berberine. So most of the time, people are taking this already for their digestion issues, cardiovascular health, and sometimes pain also. But the thing here is the clinical evidence on a 2012 meta-analysis study, overweight individuals, or even a 2020 study stated this, lost 2 to 4 kilograms over 12 weeks using berberine. So again, with a dose of 500 milligrams, not just once a day, 2 to 3 times a day with even meals. And why does it work? The reason for that, it activates AMPK, which is actually the cellular fat burning switch. So you flick it on and improves your microbiome and reduces blood sugar spikes. That's why we give it to our diabetics or pre-diabetics, and lowers visceral fat as well. So again, yes, this one is powerful. Consider it the polite cousin of metformin and helps with carbs. It doesn't judge you for that second serving of mashed potatoes.
Yeah, berberine's a good one, and isn't there's a dihydroberberine is the more
That's
powerful
even
one,
better.
right?
That's even better. But the studies had shown that even just using plain old berberine with this dosing for that long of 12 weeks actually can give you results. What more for dihydroberberine, right?
Great. So if you want a bigger kick, dihydroberberine. Okay, this is good. Number 3.
Number 3, it's citrus aurantium or bitter orange. So majority of our patients are already using this for energy, athletic performance, and even appetite control. So the studies on 2016 that was done on this actually even combined with caffeine produce an additional 2.9 kilograms weight loss over 12 weeks versus placebo or the ones who are not taking it. And it doesn't have the effect on heart rate and even blood pressure. So this contains synephrine. So it's a mild thermogenic, makes you warm, makes you feel hot, and increases the metabolic rate, boosting fat oxidation and slightly suppressing appetite. Again, the key dose is 10 to 20 milligrams of synephrine per dose, once to twice daily. And here's a caveat: avoid combining this with high caffeine products, especially in sensitive individuals. So this is a little bit of a metabolic nudge, not a shove. So just a polite reminder to burn a few extra calories during the holidays.
Okay, so and this is a capsule.
It's a capsule. You can get it in the capsule form.
Great.
It's
All right.
citrus aurantium or bitter orange, basically.
Okay. How about number 4?
Number 4 is Garcinia Cambogia. So most of the time it's being taken already by patients but when they want to address emotional eating or appetite control. Now, in studies in the Journal of Obesity, it showed 2% body weight reduction over 12 weeks versus placebo. Again, not much, not huge, but it's actually huge for something that's herbal and adjunct that you will be using with your other modalities as well. Mechanism why it helps: it inhibits ATP citrate lyase and mildly suppresses appetite and maybe even improving satiety. The dose would be 500 to 1,000 milligrams HCA 3 times daily before meals. Again, it's not going to cancel out the entire pumpkin pie, but maybe one slice.
Yeah, okay. So, how you eat, of course, matters. Your
Yeah,
lifestyle, everything matters. These are just tools.
right.
All right, last one, number 5.
Last one. This one came out of the ballpark from field. I didn't even realize I would find this beneficial for such capsaicin. And this is already being used by patients for pain modulation. If you have a knee pain, you're all going to be hearing about capsaicin. And 2014 meta-analysis showed that it actually increases daily energy expenditure by 50 to 70 calories. So again, to produce measurable fat loss over time. And this is how it does it. It boosts thermogenesis, activates brown fat, lowers appetite, and even increases fat oxidation. So the dose would be 2 to 10 milligrams capsaicin extract per day. And again, it literally heats up your metabolism and possibly your personality during the holidays.
That's good. I need that.
And yeah, there's some stacks that I can suggest for you, but later on.
You want to do that in this video?
Oh yeah, it's a quick one.
Okay. So some of these things stack together or with other things? What
Or
do you
with
mean by
other
it?
things that we have discussed before, like peptides.
Okay, let's hear it.
All right, so I guess this is where the rubber meets the road when we execute this. We're not going to rely on these supplements. I just want to make sure that everybody knows that whatever you're taking right now, you're probably helping your weight already, especially if you adjust the dose properly. But we've been talking about the GLP-1s, Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro, retatrutide. So these stacks that I mentioned to you, or the list, the top 5, I can definitely help along with the usage of the GLP-1s. Berberine enhances insulin sensitivity. Curcumin reduces the inflammation from the rapid fat loss. Capsaicin increases thermogenesis, and bitter orange offsets the GLP-1 lethargy. It can also be stacked with our peptides, MOTS-C, 5-amino-1-MQs, CMAX, tesofensin. So these herbs that I just mentioned amplify mitochondrial and appetite effects. Even helps with preventing plateaus and even supporting nutrient partition. So most patients are already using at least one of these, often without even knowing the data behind them. That's why synergism with these other modalities creates a bigger benefit for you.
Those are all great peptides. You mentioned 5-amino 1-MQ. Can you take that orally or because all the other ones are injectable, subcutaneous?
Yeah, there is oral 5 amino, as I know.
And I've heard that one, most of these you can't take orally because they're just destroyed once you swallow them.
Right.
That is 5-amino 1-MQ is actually not a peptide. It's like a sloop 332. It's actually not a peptide, but it's a small molecule, so that's probably why you can take it orally, right?
Right. And another update. So we just finished our medical conference here in Reno, Integrative Medical Conference, that there is now sublingual semaglutide. So that's why they have now formulated, and it's only available, I think, in compounding pharmacy. But I think it's a brand out there also when you prescribe it through the prescription pharmacies. So, but anyway, as you can see how everything's evolving now, they're not only letting the GLP-1s be injected in your body, they're now forming sublinguals. You can definitely do that. And even I think in the future, it will be topical or even as a patch. So the evolution of GLP-1 delivery is starting to be seen in the horizon, and especially at this earlier part of this year or latter part. But in the future, I'm sure there's going to be more deliveries methods that we will have.
Right, you had semaglutide, then tirzepatide, and now retatrutide. It's probably only gonna get better, right?
I'm sure when I was there, it's the bigger one of the bigger hypes that all of these practitioners are actually doing with their patients now.
Yeah, amazing, and stuff works. I mean, personally, I wouldn't do one of the other 2, but I would try retatrutide, I mean, because I heard bodybuilders use it, so I would try it.
Right. That's good. That's good stuff. I'm telling you, it's just the price. If you can afford it, all the better.
Okay, any last thoughts, Dr. Nario?
Well, here's a takeaway. As we move from Thanksgiving to Christmas to New Year's, the triple crown of weight gain. Actually, these are supplements that are not comparable to GLP-1s, as I mentioned, but they can support metabolism during the most dangerous eating season of the year. So, along with the other common ones that I didn't mention because they're all over the internet already, your friends will talk about it, the L-carnitines, the coffee, green coffee extracts, and even CLAs. But these are kind of like hidden gems. And most are already being used for other health benefits, such as inflammation, blood sugar, and digestion. And yes, they can be safely stocked with our GLP-1s or peptides with clinician guidance.
Yeah, you guys gotta talk to your doctor, make sure that you're getting the go ahead on anything that you might try, especially don't listen to me. But you mentioned L-carnitine, that's an amino acid that's very effective.
It is fat oxidation. That's one of the better ones.
And, last thing I'll say is going into Christmas and all that, it's so easy to get an extra 500 calories a day and to put yourself daily into a 500 calorie surplus. A couple cookies, you know, the wrong sauce, and you're 500 calories over. It's not easy to eat at a 500 calorie deficit each day. It's way easier. I've been thinking about that. It's way easier to go 500 over. Like I said, a couple cookies, you're 500 over. But to get under 500 calories, to get in a calorie deficit of 500 every day, that's not easy.
Oh, man, you just made me so guilty. That's where my Thanksgiving went, to be honest with you. But I'm getting on it. That's why I'm taking some of these supplements already. And
Yeah,
exercising, of course.
no more cookies. Yeah.
No cookies and pies.
All right, Dr. Nario, thanks for being with us.
Well, thank you, Steve, for having me again. As we all know, that knowledge is power. And thank you for letting me provide you with edge on longevity and health maintenance, which I call the biological edge or the bio edge.